Session 5 problem, maybe I will show you. All of you have done that homework. This is a simple implementation which I saw a couple of your implementations. Let me see others also soon. And then I told you to fill a matrix which is like this. Okay, so let me tell you what I want you guys to do today. Lab 3, 8:10 p.m. to, I don't know. Okay, now you have a list like this. What I want you to do, you might have, mostly I think all of you would have implemented using a for loop with maybe some condition whether you are within the innermost loop or innermost list or not, else you would have gone into another iteration. Now what we are trying to do here is we have a list like this and we are filling it up with two values like this, an increasing number. Now I said that okay, this list containing another list is only two, depth is only one level, not multiple levels. I cannot have like this, innermost and then comma this, then comma maybe 2, this may be more than that. Okay, so what if you go deeper, sometimes only one, sometimes little, and then you also add more and more. Okay, it can be anything. Okay, most probably this should handle any kind of linked list, sorry, any kind of list which is to be filled. Now when you have a list inside list like this, I want you to fill only this entry, this entry, this entry, and then this one. Okay, and this and this. So it could be any number, this number of lists, that could be any number, and then you may have any sub list which also have, which can have any number of list in them, and the depth also could be anything. So number of lists can be anything, depth can be anything, it could be a single list also, even I can give you a null list. So how do you fill it with the again same increasing number of integers? So that's the implementation. I want you to try writing it for problem 1. Okay, problem 1 is implement it. This you cannot do it in a recursion, is only better way. So what I suggest, take the implementation that you have done for session 5 homework 2. Okay, solution, you take it, that solution, whatever for loop you have done, convert it into recursion. Using recursion, try to do that. Okay, that's one. First thing is crossing this hurdle. In case if you are very familiar with writing recursion, you might have run, by the time I am explaining, you might have written the code. I am not teaching for all those outliers who can do it in 5 minutes, but I want for everyone in the class to do it. Take your time, doesn't matter, try it out. It will give you some a number of recursion depth has reached, and it will come out with an error. Okay, now what I want to do is first do the same problem using the recursion first. Okay, same set of inputs, recursion, implement it using recursion, and then complicate it by adding the inputs. You can add it more number of list, any kind of list, and then try to implement it and try to see whether your implementation caters for this or not. Then what I suggest is you can keep multiple implementation, so that one working for maybe single level of linked list, maybe it may not work for some outer cases, outliers. some list may not get filled at all, okay, in your implementation. Doesn't matter, at least you have one implementation which is using recursion but doesn't do the job of filling it up with all the kind of list. Then try to maybe change the function name little bit and then try to implement which handles the all the things, so that you will know one working version of recursion, and then look at what changes you need to make to uh, make that implementation better, okay, in terms of doing it for any level of depths. So that is a problem one. Implement this recursion, and try it out with a different input. Now problem two is other the same list with same recursive function with so many depth or whatever you have, but finally you are filling it up into only in some places, right? Only some 1 comma 2 here, maybe somewhere 3 comma 4, and then somewhere 5 comma 6. So you may be filling it up only for some places. It depends on how many such occurrences are there. What I want to do is, if you have a list with that kind of entries, the number of entries that you need to fill, either it could be odd or even. It could be either odd or even. Okay. The number of entries that you need to make, which is 1 comma 2, maybe this is 3 comma 4. How many such entries are there where you need to fill up the values? It could be either odd number of such entries will be there, or it could be even number of entries could be there. Now, I want your implementation, which you need to write another function so that you don't change the existing working code and then make it misbehave. You make it such a way that if it is odd number of lists to be filled in, you will start with odd numbers like 1 comma 3, 5 comma 7, okay, and then 9 comma 11, like that you will fill it. In case if there are even number of entries are there, then you will say 0 comma 2, 4 comma 6, 8 comma 10. You will fill it up like this, okay. So you can give any input which has either odd or even. Your function should, the function that you call will be the same, okay. You are not going to call this is odd filling or even filling, okay. The function what you are going to call will be the same. Maybe it's a different function you have to implement, of course, but it may accept both odd number of entries or even number of entries, but it will fill it with the different values based on what you are feeding in, okay. Now I leave it to you. How do you want to implement it? I am not insisting that it should be a single function, okay. Maybe you may have to do it in multiple iterations. Maybe you will first call one function to count the number of entries to be there, entries to be filled, and then you pass a different parameter to the function which knows whether you have to fill odd number of entries or even number of entries. It knows before entering, and then it will fill it up with the value, okay. I leave it the implementation to you, whether you want to do it in one function, or you maybe call one function to know number of entries which are there in the matrix, and then you fill it up either with odd number of ones or even number of ones, which other function will do, okay. There are two functions you may do. This is counting either odd or even, okay. It will count our number of entries to be odd or even, and then it will fill based on that. Maybe you will pass another flag, okay, based on odd flag or even flag. Then it will fill it up with these values, okay. So the same matrix, it will check once and then it will do again. Whether can you do it without doing two iteration, because here you are going through that whole list once to find out the number of entries, and then you are filling it up. Is it possible to do it only one go? I have not done it, but I am open. If you guys can come up with some method of doing it, please come and please implement it and share it with me. I'm not saying that it is possible, but I am leaving it open in case if you want to try it out, okay. So that's all the problems to be handled today. Now, before you ask me any questions, I will explain you the working code, in the sense without showing the code, okay. Then you will be able to understand what it is doing, okay. So I'm starting off, okay. This is the problem one, which doesn't bother about odd or even, it fills it, but it is implemented using recursion. So let me clear this. Okay, now this is the one matrix, this is the output. Okay, 1, it is filled with, you can see that it is very difficult to, okay, let me do one thing, I will copy and where do I do it, notepad. Okay, so this is same as, oh sorry, correct, I think 3 are there, no, yeah, okay, so this is output, 2 entries, 1 and then 3 entries and so on. So how to know whether it has done the job properly or not? Okay, now innermost is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so 2 into 7 14, so maximum your count should go up to 14 if it has done properly, hopefully. Okay, so now let me see this fellow, how many entries are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, 11 entries are there, uh, 2, so it should be up to 22. Yeah, it is 22, it is, I think it might have done properly. Empty list, returning empty list, no problem. Now let me show you some complex one, little more complex, number of, okay, this may be the one good candidate. This is what I was saying, that deep inside it is going. Okay, any number of things I can go. This output, how many are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15, so it should be 30, 7 is 30. Okay, let us verify this, whether it has really done the job or not. I can split it up so that we can see it is fine. 1 2 3, 1 2 3 entries, so let me break it here. One entry, 1 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, so let me break it here, and then one entry, okay, 3 there, 1 there, and 1. Now you can see that this is only 2 are there, here 2, and then here 2 2, here it is like this, looks same. If you see here this is 2 lists are there inside of them, so that you can see that it is really that many entries are there. It has not, of course it cannot disturb the construction, so it has done the job, and it has not left any list unfilled, and it is increasing. Okay, and it is in the increasing order, fine. So this is done using the recursion, and any depth you can go, any number of entries you can make, and you can test it. Now one more I have shown, let us see how many are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, here only 1 is there, 14, like Ravan's head, it is 13 14 15 16, so 16, yeah, 16 is 34, is it correct? Yeah, I think I counted it properly, or 17 actually. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17, yeah, 17 is 34. So this has come, this is the output. I hope this is clear. Problem 1, what input. Maybe I can cut and paste all these matrices for your testing, okay, without showing the code implementation. I'll send it to you through a mail, a text file, which you can use it to fill it up, the same test case. Any questions on this? I hope problem is clear. Okay. I will explain the other problem also, because some of you are quite fast. So other problem also, I will run it and show you what I am expecting. Okay. Though I explained it. Here also I use the same set of input, and then I output this. You can see that some implementation detail. I don't want to highlight that. Okay, now let me run this problem 2. See here. Now suppose this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 matrices are to be filled. That means you need to do a odd number of values. So you can see that only odd numbers are, or not odd numbers of values, odd numbers only to be filled. So it says it starts from 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. It fills. Okay. Now let me take an example where some even number of matrices are there. Say 4. This guy, matrix 4. Where is it? Yeah, this guy has only 2 entries. Then the 4 fills 0 to 4, 6. Okay, because it has got only 2 even entries, so it fills it with it even numbers. Now what about this 12? So let us see 12, 6. This one. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 entries are to be filled. So it has filled it with all even numbers. So that's what I am asking you to do it. Okay, this is the problem number 2. Take the solution that you have made for problem 1 and implement the 2. Okay, it's a additional enhancement or whatever you call it. That's the problem number 2 here. Okay. Now what is problem number 3? Problem number 3 is you are in this implementation. What you can do is, this is what I have done. I am not telling that you should do the same way. What I did was, once an empty matrix was given, I did one iteration before filling it up. I did one iteration to find out how many entries I need to fill. Okay. And then I decided, okay, I need to do this. So I passed the count, and this function, not count matrix. Okay. Here, fill matrix, I am saying flag. Okay. I set the flag based on the count. Maybe I don't need to pass. Okay. I leave it to your implementation. This is what I have done, some implementation. I'm not saying that this is the how you have to do. So I am sending a flag to my function, either it is even flag true or false. Then based on that, it will do the job. Okay, the function will do it. Okay, but before that, I should check that the matrix what was given to me is even number of entries are to be filled or odd number of entries to be filled, and then my function, which is a recursive function, which does that. Okay, so that's all is the problem 2 definition. Problem 3 is I am doing it twice here. Can I do it in only one go? Okay, one iteration I do, but I count the thing also and then do it also. I'm not asking you to put it into a single function and do it, which doesn't increase the, make it better. Means if you are scanning through the list, are you doing it twice or once? Can you do this without even going up to all the entries and finding out how many things are there? Can you do it in one go, or can you do it in a recursive way? You go to the end and then come back. While coming back, you start filling it up. I leave it to you. Okay, you are all competitive guys, coding guys. Come up with some suggestion or some good algorithm which goes through this, and then while coming back, it keeps filling from the maybe higher values, and then it does only once, but it fills everything. I don't know if you can do it. It will be well and good. I would be happy to see the implementation. But you can do it in a 2 iteration. One, you go through it fully, find out number of entries which need to be filled, and then find out whether it's odd or even. Then you pass a flag like this, okay, and fill it up with either with even numbers or odd numbers based on that. Okay, that's what I have done. and you are free to do whatever implementation, whatever way you want, whether you want to pass another parameter or something, but you have to do it recursively. I am just that I am insisting that you need to do it recursively. But if you want to do first without recursion and then later on recursion, that is also fine. I leave it to you. But the final goal is to implement it in recursion. Okay, that's all. Now, one thing I will tell you about the recursion before I give it off to you. See, what happens in recursion? First, you in C, you say something, and then you will call this function again. Now, what happens? This function is calling this. So, in a C convention, what happens? Suppose a stack is growing downwards. Every function call has a stack frame. Okay, I am sure you will know it, but still, just for the clarity of the entire class, I am telling you. If stack is growing, this is stack. Stack can grow either towards from higher address to lower address, or it could grow from lower address to higher address, whatever. But I am assuming this is growing in this way. One function call stack will grow as this much, stack frame. This is called stack frame. This will have all the space required for all the parameters, and any local variables will be allocated here. Now, when you are calling the same function from inside of this, it will allocate further some stack frame, and then it will go on. So when this is going on without any terminating condition, if you do not have a terminating condition, what happens is the stack grows unconditionally, uncontrolled, and then in a C world, what happens is it will go into some area which is not within your process area, and then it will give you a stack overflow. Okay, either OS catches it, or the compiler puts in some way of finding out stack overflow happened, then it will give you a proper error. Otherwise, it will crash. It will just crash. It will not respond at all. Now, this is the normal behavior of a recursive function without a terminating condition. So you need to have some terminating condition that it will not go unconditionally inside without having a path to come back. Now, when it comes back, it will traverse back in the same order in which it was called. So when this function returns, this stack is released, and then this is released, and this is released, and then it comes out to you. This is how a recursive function works. Now, what does the Python do? Python also does the same thing, okay? But it doesn't allow you to crash. Python catches the recursion going uncontrolled by saying that it has exceeded the limit of number of iterations. Okay, it is actually programmed. Somewhere I read that it is number of iterations, number of recursive calls is programmable. Okay, I forget it, which variable or some environment variable or something, so that it goes on finding out. If it is exceed that limit, it will say that no, you are exceeded the limit. It will not crash. The program will terminate, but it will not corrupt anything or something, because it is anyway running in PVM, so it cannot corrupt anything. So that's how this thing terminate if you don't do a proper job. Okay, so you don't need to worry that you will crash your computer or something if you go out of the limit. That's all. So that's what I have. Then I will keep quiet, and you guys can continue implementing it. And if you have implemented it, please share it with me through a mail, and message me that you have sent it. Then I can check it. Before I not drop off, I will be around in case you have doubts. You can ask me, but you can work on parallelly. Any doubts from anyone? Is the problem clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I will send you that description I have made, which is additional add-on to explanation. Maybe it may not be complete. I don't know. It will not be as detailed as I explained, but at least it will give you a sample empty list and then a filled list. Then you can superimpose with my explanation. Hopefully, I hope it is not odd or even list. So I don't know. This is wrong. Okay, this description is wrong or correct? It is correct only. Order even list is correct. Okay, number of list are even. So I will give you this as well as all the sample list that I have used for my program. Both I will do it. You guys can continue. I will be sending you a mail, one mail. Maybe this I will send it off fast, and then later on I will collect it and give you. Okay, go ahead.